Good morning. The last week on LinkedIn, there was a discussion that I was a part of that had to do with whether you should run a nonprofit like a business or not. And there were people on both sides that discussed the pros and cons of running a nonprofit like a business. I'm in the camp that it should be run like a business. I think that the disagreement perhaps comes in as to what running something like, quote, like a business means. And to me, all that means is that there are HR policies that you hold employees accountable, that there are finance policies, vacation policies, that you're working toward having a sustainable organization that is in the black at the end of the year. And I don't think that any organization, whether you're a for-profit or a nonprofit, should ignore those things that I just mentioned. Now, the argument against that from some of the people on this discussion was that if you're operating a nonprofit like a business, that you're going to somehow lose sight of the mission. And all of us in nonprofit executive administration, that's primary in your mind, and it's primary in the mind of the board as well, that you obviously have to stay on mission. So if you're going to the point where you're losing track of your mission because you're too focused on the bottom line, that's obviously not a good thing. But what I'm talking about is just operating the organization in a responsible way. The board has a fiduciary responsibility, as do I as the leader, operating the organization in a responsible way to keep it sustainable and financially healthy. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And if that's how you define running it like a business, then I'm okay with that. An example that comes to mind, over the years, I've had many for-profit finance executives who have been on various boards that I've been a part of. And for some reason, a lot of times what happens once they get into that boardroom of the nonprofit, they leave all of their for-profit finance experience at the door. And they make decisions somehow in a different way in the nonprofit arena. And I've said to them many times, that isn't something you would ever do in your business. Why is it that when you come to the nonprofit, you're making a decision like that? And oftentimes they think about that and they say, you're right, that they don't think of the nonprofit in the same way. And I think you really do have to think of it in the same way. And again, that doesn't mean you lose track of your mission. It doesn't mean you lose track of your stakeholders and who you're serving and your community, et cetera, et cetera. But you've heard the phrase many times, I'm sure, no money, no mission. So you have to make sure that the organization is financially sustainable, you're making good decisions for employees, you have policies, and you're operating it in such a way that it will keep the organization fulfilling its mission into the future. So that's my position on running nonprofits like a business. If you'd like to comment and get into a discussion, I'm happy to do that. So I hope this has been informative and that you have a great Monday. Thank you.